Hello and welcome to Fletch and Sav, the best bits, live on an international weekend from BT Sports Central.
We had a great lineup of guests today on the show. Hope you enjoy it.
But let's take a look at the back pages now. And of course, England dominates them. They were beaten 2-0 last night by Spain. What did that result last night, Robbie, tell you?
Well, it told me that, you know, since the World Cup, they've been unbeaten. And it says to me again, when they come up against a half-decent nation, they fail once again. Not good enough.
Is that a fair point, John? If you look at England against Spain last night, is that what it told you?
Well, it didn't surprise me because I don't see why, after our failings in the World Cup not so long ago, the fact that we qualified in style against, you know, a fairly easy group, why then all of a sudden should we be beating the Spains and the Germanys and the top teams in the world? We've got great young players who are potentially good, and that is why I'm saying let's look to not even the next Euros, let's look to the World Cup, the next World Cup, after they've got a 2-3 year period of showing their consistency, rather than putting pressure on these young boys to then say we should be beating Spain. We shouldn't be beating Spain. We're not good enough to beat Spain.
But Wales beat Belgium, the #1 ranked team in the world. Wales haven't got half the players England have, but Wales keep 2 clean sheets against Belgium, take 4 points of them. Why, as Englishmen, are you saying we can't beat Spain? Wales don't think we can't beat Belgium.
Well,
that's a very good question.
It is a good question.
Well, let's wait and see how Wales do in the Euros. Let's see how Wales do in the Euros, because are you then saying, because the Wales have got lots of good players. They have good players. Now, the fact that Wales are coming from a position of humility. Yes? Whereas the pressure on England, and England feel we are the best, we're not the best. Wales don't feel they're the best, so therefore they always feel they have to improve, they strive to improve. They're going to these games with the right attitude, not thinking we're going to, you know, just turn up and win, so therefore they play with the right attitude. If Wales all of a sudden start to believe they're better than they are, they could have the same problem as England. They aren't at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
You think it's just a question of humility? It's
a question, yes, because the thing about it is that why all of a sudden are we overemphasizing how good we think our young players are, how good we think we are? We are England, so therefore we should be beating it. If we went into games with more humility, thinking we aren't the best and we have to work hard to win this game, rather than thinking we can just turn up because we've got good players.
I don't think England think right now they are the best in the world because they didn't have any result that can confirm
they shouldn't
the fact
think
that they are the best. I think it's a question of being patient, as you said, Ray. In football needs stability. Stability is to build and to create a momentum for English football that will carry on for the next 5-6 years. And as you said, guys, the most important is probably not to look at the European Championship next year, and the next stage will be the next World Cup. I think for Ronaldo, I see him being in Paris next year.
Do you?
First of all, because I think they got the money to, they can afford him, money-wise. I think in terms of the challenge with Paris to win the Champions League, it's going to be interesting. And I know that the Qataris investors, they would like to have Ronaldo in the club, no matter how it costs. They're going to pay for it. And I can see also Jose Mourinho, the next manager of the team. So I think it's going to be a lot of Portuguese in Paris.
I don't think you should leave Real Madrid.
No, I don't.
Football suits him, and Real Madrid are a team that allows him to score 50 goals in 40 matches.
Well, he's scored 100 goals in the French League, John. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but in the English league, he wouldn't. If he came back to England,
if
he came back to England, he would not score those goals that he did, because that Real Madrid team, we look at that Real Madrid and Barcelona team, they're head and shoulders above the team.
But he knows about that.
Exactly, but coming back, if he comes back to Manchester,
60 or 80 goals
exactly. So if he comes back and he scores 15 goals a year and he's not the superstar he is, I mean, he will be, but will his impact on world football be the same back in England?
Dele Alli is blazing a trail at the minute, very quickly gone from our club into Spurs and Premier League and then into the England senior squad. He looks no different to how he was all those years ago. He stayed feet on the ground, he's very humble, and he's just Dele.
I think everyone can relate to him at the club. Yeah. You've got a lot of opportunities, and he took them well, and it can happen to us as well. We just got to follow him. When he was younger, he used to be small, and I'm not the biggest player, so there's always that hope, and I used to base my game on how he played.
I was in the dressing room an hour and a half before the kick-off, and I just sat there with a shirt on, and I thought, this'll do. It can't get any better than this. I was never going to play much because of the great Bobby Moore. I thought Alf Ramsey was absolutely brilliant. He said all along in the World Cup, we will win it. There is no danger, we will win this World Cup. It was a great squad. It was, and But Alf made it that. He didn't sort of say the 11 that played. It was all about us. It was all about the squad. Only the 11 that played were going to get the bonus. So what the 11 that did, they pooled all the money and then they split it between the 22.
Because if you can give an indirect free kick anywhere else on the pitch for a player being impeded, yet you don't really have that opportunity in the penalty area, so you just let it go, does that rule need to be looked at, and would that help officials and players understand it better if it was?
Maybe, because certainly what we don't want to do, Fletch, is encourage players to dive, and we don't want to encourage players to risk injury. But I mean, clearly, Remy was impeded. His chance on goal was hindered by Jack Butland coming out. Absolutely.
So it's a foul then.
What's the penalty for, though, Sav? What's the penalty for?
What's the penalty for? Because Jack Butland come out, and if Remy would have been left his legs in, he'd have smashed him.
It would have been a penalty, then. But unfortunately for Remy, he jumped out of the way. He jumped out of the way.
So what we're saying is, you have to risk injury or go to ground to get awarded a penalty. Then.
You have to be. Unfortunately, you have to be clever, I guess, and in the way that things are written in the laws of the game, and it's maybe the laws an ass.
From my point of view, as a striker, I will use the goalkeeper to get the penalty because I know I touched the ball. I know the goalkeeper is coming out and he's on my way to go and get the ball. So I will keep running, hit the goalkeeper and probably go down. And that's a free kick because there is contact.
Probably go down.
We'll go down. We'll go down.
See, a lot of people might think, well, that's gamemanship, it's cheating, but it's not, is it?
No.
It's not, is it? It's not cheating, is it?
No, for me, it's more physics because the ball is over the goalkeeper. If I want
physics.
I hit the goalkeeper and he's down, and I'm down.
I think I'm gonna leave. Try to kill me my entire time in England. I'm probably the worst. These two there?
You just needed Lee Dixon here beside you. Lee Dixon should be sitting here, that would be it.
Lee Dixon would be on my knee. Don't look at me like that. He still look at me like the same way that he was.
See that? I wanted to see that. I was like staring him out there. I wanted to kill him.
It's a compliment to you, David, a compliment.
He was only saying good French names on the football pitch. Very nice.
Could you understand him?
No.
With the Scouse accent.
I hated playing against him. You just didn't know which way he was going to go, Sav, did you? No. That way, he had every trick in the book. You just lamped him in the end.
To be honest,
you kept diving anyway. You kept diving.
Yes, he was always saying that.
It's all about diving.
Every
he
time he was kicking me and I was going on the ground, he said, stop diving. And I said, but stop kicking me. Simple as that. But this is very important because in Spain, what they do, and this is taking as an example, from the age of 10, 11, 12 years old, you don't learn how to be a football player. You learn how to be a fullback, a centre forward, a defensive midfield. You learn a job, and your job will be to be a striker, scoring goals. You will be a right fullback, and you will be playing on the right inside. So you learn a job, but not just to be a football player. You learn how to be in a position on the football pitch. So when you grow up, and you've been all the different time of your life in the game, you know exactly when you reach the top teams, you know exactly what you have to do because for so many years you have been doing the same thing. So you're not just a football player. If you say, oh, you are a football player, no, I'm a right back. You're a football player? No, I'm a striker. This is a different way.
Different
way.
That's it for Fletch and Sav, the best bits for this week. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Remember to keep your tweets coming into us during the week at Fletch and Sav, and we'll see you next Saturday live from Vicarage Road, Watford versus Manchester United, with Paul Scholes, Ian Wright, Graham Taylor and Bruce Grobbelaar among our guests. We will see you then.